Hi, boys and girls. It's another evening, and today, Mr. Bear and Granny has a story to tell you, okay? Usually the bear just sits and listens. He's not good at reading. Today's story is about Joseph, the dreamer. Thumbnail. Let's get this out of the way, okay? The dreamer. Joseph the dreamer. Okay. Joseph the dreamer. Granny, what's a thumbnail? Thumbnail is when Granny has to hold still for a long time so that when you guys come to watch the video, you know those pictures that are there? That's called a thumbnail. And I have to take a picture of that and put it up so you guys know what story Granny's gonna tell, okay? Okay. And if you saw my previous video, it's a continuation about It's a continuation about Isaac's sons, Esau and Jacob. Well, the next stories, the future stories, are about Jacob, Isaac's younger son. Remember, God blessed him because Isaac, he couldn't see very well, and Jacob came in with the food, prepared food for his dad, and his dad blessed him. And now Jacob is gonna have kids, they're the sons, and they're going to be blessed by God. That's what happens when someone blesses you and prays for you for God's blessings. That blessing will come to you. And we're going to see all the blessings that Jacob received, okay? Okay, Jacob the dreamer. Well, it's Joseph, but Joseph is Jacob's son, okay? So let me read the story and you'll know what Granny's talking about. Jacob lived in the land of Canaan. He had 12 sons. Joseph was one of his sons. Jacob loved Joseph. Joseph was Jacob's favorite son. You know, Isaac, he had Esau and Jacob. And Isaac blessed Jacob, right? So the story is going to go to Jacob and his 12 sons. Jacob had 12 sons. And out of those 12 sons, Joseph was Jacob's favorite son. Jacob loved Joseph more than all of his other children. So who was Jacob's favorite son? What was his name? Joseph. Outside it's very noisy today because it's the 4th of July in America, Independence Day in America, and people are doing fireworks right now. That's why you might hear like a gunshot noise, but it's not. They're not gunshots, okay? They are, you know, the fireworks. But Granny's inside. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a new coat. It was a beautiful coat. It had many colors, but it made Joseph's brothers jealous. They wished that they could have new coats too. They were very angry. If your mom or dad gives one of you something very nice and the other siblings, they don't get it, would that make them feel jealous? Yeah. So I could understand where the brothers are coming from. And look, Jacob made Isaac, Jacob made his favorite son Joseph's coat and gave it to him. But he didn't give any of the coats to his other sons. Joseph also had a special dream. He told his brothers about it. We were gathering grain in my dream. My grain stood up. Your grain bowed down to mine. Oh! Joseph was telling his older brothers that he had a dream that this was himself, Joseph, and these were all his older brothers bowing down to a younger brother. Does that make sense? So did that make the brothers angry? Yeah. They were saying, who does this little kid think he is? What? We bow down to you? They were very upset. Joseph had another dream. He said, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me. His brothers did not like his dreams at all. They were jealous because all these good things were happening, and Joseph was bragging about it, saying, brothers, I had dreams that your grains were bowing down to my grains, and I had a dream that the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me. That sounds like a person that has a lot of pride, huh? But Joseph wasn't prideful. He was just excited. But his brothers, they were jealous. Did you ever have a time where maybe your parents bought you a nice toy that you always wanted, and you were so happy you wanted to tell all your friends and share the joy with them, and you go out and you say, guess what my mom got me, guess what my dad got me, and you show, whatever you got, and then they weren't happy for you. They were like, I wish I could have it, and they got jealous of you. That can happen sometimes. But we should try to understand. Imagine if you were in their shoe. That would make you feel really bad, because if you wanted a toy, but your friends' parents got them the toy and your parents didn't get you the toy, you would be kind of jealous, huh? Yeah, it's understandable, but God doesn't want us to be jealous over our friends or over toys that our friends have. You know why? Because we should be happy for our friends. You should say, I'm so glad you got your toy. I'm so glad your parents were able to get you that. And try to be happy for your friend. That's what a true friend does, okay? Because when you're a good person like that, it's gonna come back to you, and one day you're gonna get things that you always wanted, okay? So just wait patiently. Don't be jealous over your friends' things. Be nice to your friends, and you know what? They may even share that with you. So always be supportive. Always congratulate your friends when something good happens, okay? So the brothers got very jealous. They wanted to get rid of Joseph. They wanted to get rid of their own brother. So they sold him to some traders who were traveling to far away lands. The traders took Joseph far away to Egypt, but God was still watching over Joseph. Joseph was a good boy, but his brothers got jealous of him because of all the good things that Joseph was saying about himself. It's not good to brag about yourself. I don't know if Joseph was bragging, but I don't think he was bragging. He was just excited, and he thought his brothers would be happy for him, but they weren't. So he got sold. They took money. The brothers took money and got rid of Joseph. And he went to the land called Egypt. Joseph had a very hard time in Egypt. Even though he was good, Joseph was put in jail. But God was with Joseph. The jailer liked Joseph. He let Joseph take care of the other prisoners. One of the prisoners was a butler. Before he was in jail, his job was to bring the king of Egypt something to drink. So, even though Joseph was trying to be good, people put him in jail. They accused him of doing something that he did not do, and they put him in jail. But in jail, he was such a good guy that people liked him in jail. The jailer, the person who watches the jail, he liked Joseph, so he made Joseph like the leader of the prisoners, like a good friend to them. And Joseph was taking care of the people. And there was a butler. And a butler, he was in prison too for something. And the butler was in jail. And this is a story about the butler. One night, the butler had a dream. He dreamed that he was taking a drink to the king. The butler told Joseph his dream. Joseph said, "That means you will soon be out of jail. You will get to do your job again." So the butler who brings, drinks to the king somehow, they thought, or he did something bad and he went to jail. But the butler had a dream, and in his dream he was giving his drinks to the king again. So he came to Joseph. Joseph, what does this dream mean? And Joseph told him. And Joseph was a very smart, wise person, because he loved God, and God gave him the wisdom to be really smart. And Joseph said, well, that means pretty soon you're going to get out of jail and you're going to be giving the drinks to the king again. That means you're going to get your old job back. And this is the dream that the butler had. The butler did get out of jail. Joseph asked the butler to remember him. He wanted the butler to help him get out of jail too. But the butler forgot. So the butler, he's out of there. He's out of jail. And Joseph said, oh, please remember me when you go out. Because Joseph was in jail for doing nothing wrong. Somebody just hated him and put him in there. One night, the king had a dream. He dreamed that 7 fat, juicy ears of corn were growing on one stalk. Then 7 thin ears of corn grew up. They swallowed the fat, juicy corn. The king had another dream. He dreamed that there were 7 fat cows, but 7 thin cows gobbled them up. The dreams made the king worry. Uh-oh, do you guys have dreams? Sometimes dreams come true, don't they? Granny had many dreams that she thought were just dreams, but they actually came true. So the king was having these scary dreams where like thin corns were just gobbling up the healthy, good-looking corn, and where thin cows were just swallowing up the big juice, the big juicy cows, the big fat cows. He asked his wise men about the dreams. The king asked wise men, what do my dreams mean? Why am I having these dreams, these nightmares? Then the butler remembered Joseph. He told the king about Joseph. The butler who brings the water or the drinks to the king. He remembered, oh yeah, Joseph, I forgot about him. He told me to tell the king good things about him so he could get taken out of jail. But now he remembered. The wise men didn't even know what the dreams meant. But the butler remembered. And the butler told the king. So the king sent for Joseph. Joseph told him, your dreams mean Egypt will have 7 good years. There will be plenty of food to eat. Then there will be 7 bad years. No food will grow. The king could tell that Joseph was wise. So he made Joseph a leader in Egypt. See, if you pray to God and ask God for wisdom, then God will give you wisdom. So now, Joseph was in prison, right? But now the king called him because the butler told the king, there's a prisoner in there that knows how to interpret dreams and tell what the dreams mean. So the king brought Joseph, and Joseph told the king all this that was about to happen. Okay? Now, the next time I read the story, it'll be a continuation. This is a continuation. And you'll find out what happens next. Okay? All right. It's been 14 minutes, so time for you guys to go biddy bye-bye. Good night, boys and girls. Don't forget to brush your teeth, wash your face, wash your feet if you haven't showered. Don't forget to dental floss, okay? And be good and be healthy. Eat healthy foods, fruits and vegetables, okay? Candy just sometimes, not every day. All right, until next time, remember that God loves you. Granny loves you. And Mr. Bear loves you. Come back again, okay? Bye. Bye. Bear wants to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Bear.